I can't.
No, let's grab this.
And grab
Okay.
also Toni Morrison.
Yes.
Is that part of the same series?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I love this one because of the texture on this.
Oh,
It's
there's a story about that. A positive thing that I did years ago was 3 musicians. And it was Bob Marley, Jimi Hendrix, and John Lennon. So for Bob Marley, I had to learn how to paint dreads.
oh.
And I'm going, how the fuck am I going to paint dreads? Look at me. You know, like, so I don't know where we were. We were on a trip somewhere, and a waitress that we had, you know, I'm cogitating, how am I going to do this? And a waitress goes serving us who had beautiful dreads, this young, black, beautiful woman. And I'm looking at her, and Debbie says, no staring, no staring. I said, staring is what I do. I do, like, that's it. That's part of my job. Not with beautiful young women. Like, okay. I said, the reason I'm looking at her is because look at those dreads. So I asked her, I said, sorry about this, and, you know, whatever, do you think that I could take a picture of your dreads? You know, like, I'm doing a painting of Bob Marley, and I just don't know how to do it.
Right.
She said, oh, yeah, great, Bob Marley, the greatest, you know, like, love him. Debbie's like,
I need to study.
just get
this
it over
photo.
with. Just
Yeah.
get it over. Yeah. So I got her I got, you know, a picture of her dreads, and she said, I said, you know, I'll send you like a printout if you want, because it's a beautiful picture of you too, and showed it to her. She said, oh, no, that's okay, Bob Marley. Okay, great. So I go back in the studio and I start. You know, it's a big painting, it's 6 feet. And I'm working for like a couple of weeks, and I'm excited. Okay, Deb, I got the dreads, you know, like, and come look at the dreads. So she comes in, and it's like this much of dreads.
Right.
She said, he did like 6 square inches of dreads. She said, his whole head is like dreads. I said, yeah, but I got it. You know,
I got the technique.
I got it, yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
And so, cut to like years later, I'm going to do Toni Morrison. I said, oh my God, gray dreads. You know, there they are. You know, oh, I know how to do this. I'll just use white instead of black.
Perfect.
Like, genius.
Yeah.
And so there you go. You get a lot of dreads.
Love it.
But my point is, which is lost in all this, but bringing it all back.
Reel it back in.
Yeah.
Come on.
Reel Robbie back in.
Come on, Robbie.
Yeah. Doing whatever the art asks you to do.
Love it.
You know, so painting inspirational women is a completely different technique. And what I did, I had to go back to, like, I went to art school all my life. And so, like, the way you're actually taught how to paint in oil, you know, like light to dark, thin to thick, caressive. I don't mind caressing AOC, you know, like, as long as, you know, like, it's in the studio.
Gotcha.
And her husband doesn't mind. But you know, and so it's completely different, you know. And I had to get all new brushes and everything, but I could do it, you know. And I did Gandhi, the Dalai Lama, and Martin Luther King too, like watching, waiting, and dreaming, which is a whole nother story. And painting those guys, which is also positive, using this technique was a whole nother adventure in what the art insists you have to do.
Yeah.
And I remember the first one that I painted, and there's another 6 foot high, was Gandhi, and I just wasn't sure I could do it. You know, like, I don't know if I can translate this technique into positive with these old guys. And I remember, I think my studio was being built in Mar Vista at the time, and I was, my great photographer, Alan Schaefer, I was borrowing his studio, It's a long hallway, and I had the painting up. And I was working on it, and I'm saying, this better work out, like, I don't know. And I finally, got it pretty well done. And Debbie came to visit, and I'm working, and I didn't know. She shows up at the other end where the entrance is, and I hear somebody crying. And I go, this ain't right. Can't be that bad. No. And I turn around, and she's just bawling there. And I said, what is it? What is it? It's so beautiful. He's so soulful. And I go, oh.
This guy. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hey man, that's the highest compliment right there.
Yeah. So I think, okay, I think I could do this,
Yeah.
But, and there's another thing, like, I don't know if you have this with your work, but I think everybody has it with their work a certain amount. But there's some, like, this was a wrestle. I had to wrestle with this. Like, it just did not come easy, and it was a like a cage match, like, like, and fuck him, and this, who I hate equally, came like whole.
Right.
And with watching Waiting and Dreaming, when I finally got to do Martin Luther King Jr., it just came.
Beautiful.
I struggled so much with Gandhi, the first one, and the Dalai Lama was okay, but I don't know. It just, like, every once in a while, just say thank you, and be grateful that every once in a while, sometimes the magic happens, sometimes it doesn't. Every once in a while it does.
Yeah, but when the magic happens, and I recently, we were working at the Scale House Market doing my home series, my first commission in my hometown. We had like 2 weeks to do these like 14 mural designs, right? But
Whoa.
I showed my client, Vicky Carter, the work, and she cried and says, I see God. So you don't know until you get this outside verification, because we're just like, in our minds, I'm still, you don't know it's good until then somebody on the outside goes, this is amazing, or they cry, and that kind of gives you this this feeling of I'm on the right path, right?
Yeah, well, I have experiences where I know I like it,
Yes.
but that doesn't
Yes.
mean anything.
Yes.
Like...
Oh, totally, yes. Yeah.
Here's a good one for you.
Right.
Like, okay, so one thing about making art or anything, where you're giving yourself completely, you have to, I have to trick myself to get into the zone, like the art zone, where everything disappears, like time, the
flow
space,
state.
woo. So I have to trick myself to get into it. I have to trick myself to stay in it. And I have to trick myself to get out of it before I fuck everything up. And it's a constant trip. Like, especially as I get older, I had to get out of there faster, sooner. Used to be like, okay, I could do 2 hours, go feed the cats, like have a snack, have another cup of coffee, check on the ball game, and then, come back and do another hour or so, hour and a half.
Yeah.
Now, it's like, trick myself to get in, trick myself to stay in, and get the hell out of here before you fuck it up. Because I don't have the stamina to stay in there positively, I could stay, but bad things are gonna happen. Yeah, woo. And with this guy, like I said, I had to rip off the top of his head.
Yeah.
And, I was pretty proud of that hair. Like, I did that pretty well.
With the comb.
Yeah. Like, I got my combs.
Oh, you do have your combs.
Yeah, see? Like, and I got all different combs for different hair.
Oh, you do.
Yeah. Yeah, these are baseball.
You got the glitter on there too?
Yeah.
The bedazzle?
Yeah, it's a sugar
look at this,
skull.
like watercolor too.
Yeah. Sandy
Thou
Koufax.
shall not hit.
Yeah, Sandy Koufax. And this is Clayton Kershaw, actually.
Oh.
Back
Oh, you
here.
did Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah.
Can you get that out, or is that
It's heavy.
Gotcha.
It's heavy.
Oh.
It's heavy. It's heavy. Here, let me.
Oh, sick.
So I
got it, Robbie.
started a series called the 10 Commandments of Baseball,
Okay.
which are like unwritten rules of baseball.
All right.
Of baseball, the commandments that are like unspoken, but players know that with a man on first and less than 2 outs, thou shalt take 2 and hit to right. And that's actually Derek Jeter, looking good. And here's the other one that I actually finished. In the late innings of a close game, thou shalt take 1 for the team. Anything to get on base. Yeah. Craig Biggio got hit more by pitches than anybody else.
Oh,
That's him.
Yeah, getting hit.
Yeah.
It looks like a broken arm, and then this blood coming out. But with the saint, with that saint halo.
That's right.
Where's Fernando?
These are sold.
Oh, there's no.
I mean, anything that isn't bad politicians.
People will buy.
Yeah. I got a chance.
Well, yeah.
Say more about this
We
one.
don't want to get. We
Enunciation
don't
of
want
the
to get
screwball.
defunded. Yeah.
The Lord saith unto Fernando, thou shalt put some spin on the ball. He was a great screwball pitcher. He had 5 different kinds of screwballs. And he would, in his windup, he would look up into the heavens, and it would just it would disquiet batters. He's not looking at me. He's throwing 90 miles an hour. This can't be good.
And I love this heart picture too. The
Yeah,
heart
he had a
when
big
it goes,
heart. Yeah.
Like has this aura. Right?
Spurting. It's spurting.
Yeah.
Like the Mexican. He's from some small town in central Mexico that nobody ever
I
heard
love
of.
this the skeletal structure. It's like
Oh yeah, I'm big. I have
very.
a skeleton in the
loose.
studio that's been with me for years and years. Stan the Man.
So the ball has an aura on this,
Yeah.
like a sun.
Say more about this.
Well, this guy was a great Cuban who had like 7 different pitches, and he could throw them at any time. And we were. He was on the Yankees, and the Yankees were doing a playoff with the Red Sox, and we were in Boston. And we were early for something. We went into a bar, and the game was on.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And there's just one guy sitting at the bar. And the Red Sox had the bases loaded and nobody out, in like the 9th or late innings. And El Duque came in as a relief pitcher. And we just sat there and watched him get out of it, without a run scored, with nothing. And he threw stuff nobody knew what the hell it was. And it's true, like he would make up pitches. It's his creativity,
Right.
That he hadn't thought of, but seemed to be right for the moment. And I just loved him for that.
Yeah, like a true master of his craft.
Yeah, just
Kind of a wizard.
inspired. Yeah, a wizard. Yeah, he was like, I mean, he didn't know what he was going to do, And I know the feeling, like improvisation. Like I'm really big on jazz. I'm a big Thelonious Monk fan, and there are moments, like in every creative practice, I think, where something comes to you, or you just do something because it's right for the moment, and it's something you hadn't thought of, you probably didn't even know you could do or would do, and it works. There are other times when you do all that and it doesn't work. Like we say, sometimes the magic works, sometimes it doesn't.
You just got to keep trying.
I mean, the fact that that's part of the process is very important to me.
Yeah, I like how how these athletes and their craft inspires your work too.
Oh yeah.
That's really.
And the thing is, like with baseball, like all American kids play baseball, and the more you've played it, the better you know how hard it is to be really great at it. you
Yeah.
know. And so,
That's it. For sure.
yeah, so we really appreciate. Yeah, but there's an original. It's oil pastel.
Okay,
With
talk
a-
to me. Talk to me about this piece.
Okay,
Vivache.
so the Ganesh is the most popular of the 1,000 Hindu gods, and it's a domestic god of tranquility. And so in this case, Mickey and Minnie are having a little domestic problem. And Ganesh is interceding and saying, peace, be calm. See Mickey with his fists and Minnie's going, oh no. So Mickey's probably giving Mickey a little bit of shit for something. And so we call in the Ganesh to make things okay between them. It's like a marriage counselor.
Oh, okay.
And of course, the Ganesh is all bejeweled and glorious, and they're not. So that, and it was a commission.
Yeah, it was a woman. I can't remember her name, and obviously it was many years ago.
From
but
Malibu.
she I think was going through a bitter divorce.
That's
Oh.
it.
Kids
That's
and
it.
everything were involved, and it was a very hard time for her. So she commissioned this in a way as a sort of a healing to remind herself to take self-care for herself and her family. And Robbie just, took on the Mickey and Minnie idea to kind of exemplify that. And also because her kids were involved, and then and that painting was great. It went away. It went off to wherever, Colorado, I think is where it lives. And we asked her if we could do a limited edition of that. And then on the limited edition, we tricked it out with lots of stickers and gems.
Jewels and
Bejeweled.
gold leaf
and
and
Bedazzled.
gold leaf
Bedazzled,
and everything.
right.
So every one of them is different.
Dope.
Not one.
but
that's
it's
the same.
positivity and
It was just fun. That was like, oh, we get to have some fun.
we love elephants. So what's not to love?
Joan Rivers. Why?
Okay, so I was into women with teeth and thinking about it, and Nancy and the other women, and I just happened to. Joan Rivers had a late night TV show, and I happened to see Nancy on her show with Joan. And I thought they look exactly alike, and they both scared me equally. So I thought, oh, okay, well, a little popular culture couldn't hurt. First of all, this is the only known picture of Jean Kirkpatrick smiling. The only one. And she just did it for me.
Yeah.
Get her in the studio and she's just ecstatic. So, and Margaret Thatcher, one of my rules for myself was just to paint about, politicians that I know about, and I would confine myself to just American issues, which is like what I know. But I used to get a lot of requests to do other terrible politicians from other countries, and I always said that's kind of carpetbagging, don't you? And so some people asked me to do Margaret Thatcher in England, and I said I'm not doing that. It's like, don't you? There are a lot of great English artists, who hate her as much as I do. Let them to do it. But when I was into this, I thought, she and Reagan, they have things in common. And I guess I could break the rules just, for her beautiful self,
Yeah.
And so I threw her in there. But Joan and Nancy, what, for young women, what kind of role model is that? It just terrified me. So I actually met her once. Back in the day, I was on Charlie Rose's program with her and Joan Collins.
Charlie Rose. Yeah.
Yeah, the old Charlie Rose
Yeah.
show. And I was sitting next to her, like at this round table, and she had a yellow legal pad underneath the table with jokes written in script, and she was vibrating like a tuning fork. And I just got this buzz off of her, it was kind of toxic. So, and at one point during a commercial break, Charlie said to her, Robbie's done a portrait of you, for this Women with Teeth poster that he did. He said, what do you think about that? She said, all publicity is good publicity. Okay. And Joan Rivers, but Joan Collins wouldn't even look at me. Never said a word to me, nothing, just completely blank.
Wow.
But sitting next to her was enough for me, to have to go calm down.
Well, so I studied your gestural kind of abstraction, figurative work, and I noticed that same figurative work in your same. It's similar to that skeleton figure. It's like if I took the skin and flesh off those figures, and those are the bones that we would see in this series.
Okay.
And so I'm trying to. What I want to know is from this portraiture. Were with the fonts of the villains, and then you go to the skulls, which I love
And knuckleheads.
I love the skull with the LA hat and it said dope.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a T-shirt, Robbie. You can slang that. I would.
We did T-shirts.
Yeah. I mean, I love that. That resonates.
T-shirts are a whole nother
Yeah.
animal.
So yeah,
That's shepherds.
and then then you shared your 10 commandments of baseball.
Yeah.
And then we go to not the villains, but kind of the heroes, the icon heroes, uplifting the positive messaging.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have this kind of ebb and flow.
And then there's cats.
Yes.
Meow. Yeah. Okay. So this is how it works for me.
Yeah.
I get the question, and it's a good one. They're all inside me, and it goes along with kind of parallel to and intersecting with this concept of whatever the art asks me to do, I feel like it's my obligation to have the skills to apply to that, whatever the art wants. Mm-hmm. So with the bad guys, it's and gnarly.
Yes.
Okay, I can do that. Me and paint, we have a relationship. We can work together. Mm-hmm. Coming from abstract expressionism and taking all that churn and Sturm und Drang and forcing it into their faces, so that the corrugation is a metaphor for their the corruption of their souls.
Yes.
Like that. Okay, like that.
Twist in that
okay,
sense.
so there's that. And then I love baseball. And ever since I was a little kid, I've been drawing baseball. I used to make little booklets of a game, and go through not every inning, but the highlights.
Oh.
And
As a pictorial?
yeah,
Pictorial.
little picture books.
Oh, cool.
With as best I could draw it at that time, from the time I was 7 to whatever. I did that. I was actually raised by Siamese cats on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. I was an only child. My parents were busy saving the world from capitalism.
And imperialism.
Yeah, and all that.
Yeah.
And so that's a full-time job, which still needs to be done, I might add. And, good work if you can do it. We had 2 Siamese cats. All my life except one period when I was in Canada and I didn't have a cat, and that's why it was terrible. So I would draw cats.
Yeah.
Ever since I was a little kid. In fact, I think what would happen is you're a little kid and you're an arty kid, and you probably were.
Yep.
Yeah.
Doing
So you're making stuff, and all of a sudden you see something up on the living room wall that's framed. That's something you threw away, like a picture of a cat that didn't work out or something, And I said, what is that, Mom? And she says, oh, I just loved it so, like I took it out of the trash and you don't mind, do you? And he goes, oh. But, I mean, that's kind of sweet. But
Yeah.
I drew cats and I drew these baseball things, these little booklets, with staples and kind of like Raymond Pettibone does, did.
You still have those little booklets?
No.
Just curious.
No. I should go make some more,
That may be fun.
just get back into that zone,
Like Game 7?
I'm just gonna...
Like, I don't know if you could, like Game 7?
Oh my
last
God!
Game 7?
Don't, let's not
October
even talk about that.
31st,
Let's not talk about that.
2026 or 2025,
Halloween.
Halloween. Yeah, Goosebumps.
My dad's birthday. But,
Oh,
but
really?
he picked it. He picked it because he just loved Halloween. He wanted to have a party for all the kids,
man.
and he would give out presents for his birthday. He wouldn't accept any presents. He would give
Trick or treat.
all the kids who showed up at his Halloween party. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so
Okay.
I did cats, and cats have been. I mean, now when I do cats, I mean it's serious. They're like soulful portraits of cats. They're no fooling around. It's like mind melding with the cat and us getting into each other and making something that honors that kind of relationship.
Yeah.
Probably some of the best drawings I ever did in my life are of our cats, and so there's that, and the knuckleheads. The skulls are a reaction to all the angst that built up from me doing the bad guys. Like when I couldn't take it anymore. So I don't want to do another fucking bad guy, and it's 3 a.m. and I thought, I can't take it anymore. I'm going to do a funky fucked up skull, like with a word. And skulls are the new happy face anyway,
Yeah. Well, it was Contra Cocaine.
Yeah,
with the skull.
Contra Cocaine. But that wasn't a knucklehead.
Yeah.
That was like a response, like a response. But the thing, but anyway, here's the thing with, this is a little sideways, but any representational artist, figurative artist, has a chance to do a skeleton or a skull, especially a skull, they'll do it, because it's a thing, and it's our thing, and yeah, but every artist who ever painted a skeleton had to make a deal with the skeleton, because I have a skeleton with me, Stan the man. He's
Stan.
in pieces over there, but came over, got him from Germany. He's been with me like 30 years, and he's in the model for all these. And the thing is, skeletons are so complex and so fantastic.
Yes.
The human skeleton, 206 bones, not counting your teeth.
Right.
And if you were to actually sit down and do it absolutely accurately, I'd still be working on it, So you have to make a deal.
Yeah.
And you want to honor the skeleton, so it has to be okay with him that you're taking these shortcuts or leaving some stuff out, but you're capturing the essence of the movement and the complexity and the joy in the movement and all that. So you have to make a deal, but it's like the most fun. I just love doing it,
Yeah.
And it just cracks me up how fantastic skeletons are, but since I went to like art museums all my life, like when I was a little kid, my parents sending me and stuff, and so I, and artists paint skeletons, and Jose Guadalupe Posada, who a lot of people have never heard of. I had a relationship when I was 9 with him because he was at the Modern, and he had all these calaveras, like dancing, getting up and making fun of all the high society people in Mexico, and it turns out also, I found out later, that he actually made these things and put them up on the streets with text on the back.
Like posters.
Yeah,
Same.
yeah. And so that's a great tradition for me, but the skeleton, and James Ensor, who I was telling you about, like the scary painting that that he did that I used to go visit because I loved being scared.
Yeah, and you see how long you
How
can
they can
stand
sit
in
there,
front
yeah,
of it
yeah,
until
yeah,
you-
without running away.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is, kids love to be scared in a certain way.
Yes.
So, but there's a long tradition of this stuff, and I did a whole series of the Bush administration as skeletal figures, goofy skeletal figures. Condoleezza Rice as Darth Vader as a skeleton. Darth Condi,
Nice.
with her lightsaber and her. So it's been very useful to me, and also I just love doing it. But the knuckleheads was kind of like a release valve from the Sturm und Drang of doing the bad guys. And that's like a nightly thing, like if I was working on something for quite a while, and when I used to be a night owl, get about 2 a.m, I go, fuck it, like I'm doing a knucklehead. And so that's a self-portrait, actually, the kvetch.
Kvetch.
Yeah, because people who don't know what kvetching is, it's Yiddish
It's Yiddish.
for a kind of complaining that is actually ordinary dinner conversation, in a Jewish dinner setting. Like, if we're just talking, like Sunday dinner or something, which would probably be at a Chinese restaurant, actually. Kvetching is just...
Kvetching.
Kvetching, the normal talk, which is like... It's kind of a related to New York wise guy shtick, but maybe a little deeper.
Okay.
Because Yiddish was developed to annoy German with phlegm. Yeah.
Okay.
Ach, alle. Oi, Gewalt. Yeah. So, anyway, this is like, all these things are just part of my personality, and in my soul. And so, and they also, each one is a relief from everything else,
Yeah.
like doing the cats, is a relief from doing the skeletons, which, and everything's a relief. Everything else is a relief from doing these guys.
Right. Do you kind of revolve, or you finish?
No,
You finish one.
no, it
Or
just
you-
happens.
Just happens. Okay.
It just happens. It's when it comes up, and you have to respond.
Right.
Like,
Is it a feeling?
yeah, it's a feeling. It's a big feeling. It's a tidal wave.
Yeah.
Or sometimes it could trickle up, like, I'm feeling a kitty, like, I got to do something. Or the cats do something, If Ella or Louie does something, I go, oh, I got to do that, like, I got to honor that.
And these feelings come from just like experience from cats, or maybe the news or something, or
Yeah, well, they've already, so I was telling you maybe last evening about my friend who's a psychiatrist, who has this theory, the molecular biology
the
of
trauma
capitalism.
within the. Yes.
Yeah, so this stuff is inside me,
Yes.
and it's my experiences have actually altered my biochemistry to the point where it bubbles up,
Yeah.
and so it's just me, and then again, there's my wife. Okay, so it was one of those times Debbie said, okay, that's enough.
Yeah.
You have to do something positive. And so I had done Inspirational Women. I had done probably my most popular poster ever is Watching, Waiting, and Dreaming. Gandhi, the Dalai Lama, Martin Luther King, for obvious reasons. You did something positive, people are going to like it.
Yeah.
Those guys were pretty good. So, okay. And then the Inspirational Women, that's another moment when Debbie said, you have to do something positive. And women are pretty great, right, Robbie? Right, Deb? Yes.
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 Yes, Robbie.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so that's them. But and I did them, and I'm open to do more. I love it. But this was now, and we love fungi, mushrooms.
Yes. Fungi.
All kinds of mushrooms.
Fungi jokes.
And there are some special mushrooms that we love even more. And
Psilocybins?
like those, yes. and so we had watched this fabulous fungi movie of this guy who did a documentary about mushrooms,
Is it Paul?
and it's time lapse.
Oh.
He did time lapse things of them, and they're just fantastic, you know. So we loved them anyway. So said, okay. So here's what I'm going to do, Deb. I'm going to adapt a knucklehead, make a happy knucklehead with fungi coming out of his body, you know, like mushrooms coming out. Yeah. And she said, great, okay, do it. And you better do a fungal too. Okay, fungi and fungal. But we just like, you're going to do mushrooms. We didn't actually say fungi and fungal. We just said, we're going to do mushrooms. We're going to do a skull with mushrooms, a male, you know, a guy and a gal.
Right.
Okay, so all done. And we're visiting, and I couldn't figure out text for it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to figure out like one word, like there's always a word underneath, and I'm like text and image guy.
Got to be perfect, right?
Yeah, it's got to be good anyway.
Right, yeah.
Perfect, I don't know from, but it's got to be good. Got to be good.
Yeah.
So got to do it. So we're up in Montecito visiting our friends Dan Castellaneta and Deb LaCosta. He's Homer Simpson, the voice of Homer Simpson.
Wow.
And he's one of the funniest guys. He and Matt Groening, like you walk down the street with them, they're talking, you have no idea what they're talking about or what they're seeing, but it's hilarious. You know, like they're just on another level.
Their minds.
Yeah, their minds.
Yeah.
And they have a mind meld too. So, because they've been doing it for like 25, 30 years or something.
So they're like Abbott and Costello kind of.
They are kind of like that.
Yeah.
Don't tell them that. But actually, they might like that. But anyway, so we're talking to them, and I'm whining, you know, like I just can't get this. I don't know, and Dan is looking at me, and you know, and he says, a mushroom walks into a bar. So, okay, sits down and orders a drink, and the bartender says, "Sorry, we don't serve mushrooms, you know, at this bar." And the mushroom says, "Why not? I'm a fun guy."
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good.
I said, "That's it. That's it. Thank you, Dan."
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, and so here he is. And so if you're going to go
So this is
to fungi.
this is Robbie, and then this is Deb.
Yeah, that's right.
There.
Right. That's right. So just a portrait of us at home.
And you got the glitter in these too. I love it.
Oh yeah, well, sugar skulls.
Sugar skulls.
Yeah.
And then you
or
got
cocaine skulls.
Little mushroom clouds.
Yeah, here are our favorites. But I love them all, you know.
Nice.
So that's another thing that happens that is inside me, but Debbie brings it out.
Yeah.
You know, like when she figures that we need it.
Your legacy, because you were born.
For Christ's
You were
sake.
born when the war ended.
It wasn't over yet.
It wasn't over yet. So I want to talk about your legacy and what it means to you, what you leave this world when you leave this world, what memories you want to, what artists, fellow artists, and people that respect you, and like you influenced my work, you influenced people who have influenced me, like Shepard Fairey, and like Barry McGee and so forth. So, what if you could tell the world, like what your transgressions?
Gotcha.
I
I know what you mean. Okay, so this is an easy one.
Yes.
And it's not what you expect.
No.
It's
never.
like, okay,
It's never.
I don't really care.
Yes.
About, you know, like my legacy or anything. The only thing that in terms of the art, you know, is that people who see it or remember what my stuff was or is that it's possible to do this stuff,
Yes.
to make art, make satirical art about social and political issues and get it out into the public sphere so that it can participate in whatever public conversation there is about issues that we care about. That's it. I know it upsets Deb when I said, I don't care.
I'm the same. I don't really.
You gotta be completely detached.
Yeah, I agree.
No, it's not detachment. It's just forget about it. It's almost like it's not about me.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really make art about me. I do have made self-portraits that when I'm trying to make fun of myself, which I think is important.
Yeah.
I think, being humble, one of the things about, so I know more about history than I know about art history. And that's always been true since I was a little kid because of my experience, growing up in museums,
Yeah,
I told you about that. So, but the thing is, that's not true of a lot of street artists. They come from a different place and they have different experiences than I had. But when so I'm so conscious of the history of not just Western art, but of great art, world art, that, when I think about myself in relation to that, I go, really, there's nothing,
a sand piece of
yeah,
sand.
yeah, come on, was so much great art that just knocked the shit out of me, and rightly so. And then you start thinking about how do these people do this? Probably the greatest, not the greatest, but the most politically significant work of art in Western culture is the David. And I don't know, did I tell you this story?
No.
Okay, so in 1502, Florence was under imminent attack from Rome and the Medicis. They wanted to take it over. It was the cultural center, this little city-state, and the big bad Medicis and the Romans, they coveted it. And they had spies all over Florence, and they were thinking about how to take it over. So the Duomo met in 1502 in Florence, and there are records of these meetings, and they decided to hire Michelangelo, this guy, Mike, to do a sculpture that was a metaphor for their resistance. And they decided David versus Goliath, which makes a lot of sense considering their situation. But it was very touchy because of all these spies, and they had to do it in secret. So they got him into a secret location. He got his block of marble, and he worked for 2 years on it. 1504, it was done. They had to get it. Where are they going to place it? So they have another meeting in the Duomo, and they had two choices. And this is all written down in the files of the Duomo. Still, we have them. And famous artists were, Leonardo was there then, there were these people that
Raphael
Florence,
was there. Yeah.
Florence was it.
Right.
So they had to move this, where were they going to place it? And they figured they had to bring it from the secret location in the middle of the night to the Duomo, and it did get attacked. In fact, stones were thrown at it. Vasari tells this story. I don't know, you never know about Vasari, but okay, as far as the story goes.
A little drama.
Yeah, a little drama. Yeah. And certainly could be absolutely true. So, because it was a big deal, very big deal. So, in the middle of the night, they bring it, and they could either put it in a loggia, and it would be kind of okay, we're trying to tell you that we're resisting, but, we don't want to offend anybody. or they could put it in the center of the Duomo with his Terribilitas growl facing Rome. And they went for that. And there he was, and they resisted, obviously, and Rome did not take over Florence. But the David was the public symbol of their resistance, and it worked. But the other thing about the David is, how did he do that?
Right.
Come on, like this?
2 years?
2 years like
Hammer and
this
chisel?
with a little bit of help, yeah. And
Couple apprentices?
Yeah. And I'm just going I'm going like this and doing squeegees with, cake icing bags.
Right.
And, combing hair with combing paint with a comb. And this guy's doing this, come on. So,
I love it.
my point is, when you think about legacy, forget it.
Resisting.
Yeah. Please just remember that if I could do it, you could do it.
Keep fighting the good fight.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Keep resisting. What was the reception from the people you were painting? Did you get any backlash? Did you get any letters, or did you hear anything directly or indirectly about these?
First of all, the art's not for them.
Yes.
It's for
The people.
the people.
Yeah.
Or us.
Us.
Yeah. So
We the people.
So that we the people. So that's one thing. Okay. So, but the answer is a couple of times. So back in the day, I was on CBS This Morning, this show, and Harry Smith and Susan Sullivan were then the joint anchors, and I had been up in New York, and I had been up 3 days and 3 nights with people, New Yorkers, postering. And I came into the studio, and it's a taping at like 8 a.m. with Harry Smith, and I think I was wearing like a T-shirt,
Yeah.
And
this is
right.
after you were up for
Yeah.
72 hours.
Right. And I come in, and we do 6 minutes,
Okay.
me and Harry Smith. And at the end of the 6 minutes, Harry Smith says, "Oh, wait a minute, I get it," because he had no idea who the fuck I was, and I was thrilled that I was cogent for 6 minutes, maybe I made sense, this is like, I can't believe I didn't pass out or something.
Right, so, yeah.
But he says, "I get it now. Let's do it again." So, I'm going, oh. So we have a break.
Yeah.
And Susan Sullivan, the co-anchor, who's wearing this white mohair suit, comes up to me during the break and she says, "Mr. Conal, I gave your Men with No Lips poster to Caspar Weinberger. He hated it." "Thank you very much." Thanks. Nice to meet you too.
Yeah.
And then, you were talking about post no bills. So 1, 2, 3. The third poster I did was Oliver North speak, because he wasn't saying anything about his role in Iran-Contra with the Contras in Nicaragua. And I actually had done a triptych, Hear, See, Speak, that was Reagan here, because his hearing was bad. His North's boss, seeing, because his seeing was bad, and North not speaking. But I didn't have the money or the presence of mind to borrow it or steal it to make all 3 posters, so I just made Speak.
Okay.
And we put it up in Washington, D.C. We put it up everywhere. And these kids from USC who were doing this documentary about me followed me around then. And they decided to go, Oliver North had a book out or something. He was doing some public stuff.
So he's doing a book signing or something.
Something, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And they tracked him down
All right.
and asked him about my poster.
Did they show it to him?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're like, "What do you think?"
Yeah, what do you think? And he said, "He's abrogating my civil rights." Hated it.
It's the most he ever said about something, huh?
About me, yeah, for sure. Yeah, he opened his mouth for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
He spoke.
Yeah, so And I think they have that on film.
Oh.
So it's in the doc. But yeah, the other one is Daryl Gates. So I did a poster about Daryl Gates after Rodney King, and after the cops were cleared of beating him 56 times.
On tape.
Yeah, on tape for speeding in a Hyundai, which is almost impossible probably when Hyundais were made, those early Hyundais couldn't go that fast.
So you were in LA during those
Oh yeah,
that time
yeah,
with the
I was
riots?
yeah, I was there, and so I did this thing of him on a National Rifle Association rifle target.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was about
92, and Daryl Gates did not like that.
and Daryl Gates was the
Police chief,
the
police chief of LA.
and he was talking about what was it, recreational use of drugs.
Yeah, the casual drug users ought to be shot.
Yes.
That's a quote from him to a congressional committee when he was,
Which is public
testifying.
record.
Yeah. Actually, the way we did this, that was actually a collage. I had one of my students from USC go down to Parker Center and tell somebody down there that there was doing a paper on Daryl Gates, for this class, criminology class or something. And did they have any information about him that they could use? And they gave him a whole stack.
Posters.
No, not the whole stack of information,
Okay. Yeah.
plus an 8x10 glossy of him in full uniform. So we took that
Okay.
and put it on the rifle target, and then took it out and printed up a lot of posters, and then went out to an indoor rifle range in Monrovia and shot. And it was hysterical.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. And then, so we put up the posters, on the anniversary of the whole thing. And I had a great reporter from the LA Times with me in my car during this. And it was the only time in all the times I've been postering that LAPD didn't stop any of us. What they did was follow us 5 cars behind us and take down every poster that we put up.
When you left.
Yeah, right as we were leaving, we could see them doing it,
Before the glue dried, right?
Yeah, and because they're art collectors, and a portrait of their chief,
Yeah.
So we had to go out the next night and put them up again. But Daryl Gates did not like that, and he said almost exactly the same thing that Oliver North said. Abrogating my civil rights, and he really didn't like it. And after that, I don't know if it's in the book, but Mike Antonovich was one of the board of supervisors from District 5. They got together and asked the city attorney, James Hahn at the time, to prosecute me for fomenting violence against the police and promoting civil unrest. Which was a big Megillah, okay. But I had this tigress mother lawyer, Susan Grode, Esquire, who took care of me. And I had a little constituency by then of people who, especially in the entertainment industry, who, would speak up for me and stuff. So I made a little mistake, and a Metro reporter mentioned in the LA Times that I was being called in.
For questioning?
Yeah, for questioning and stuff. And so that did not go well for me or for them. But meanwhile, there was this request from the Board of Supervisors to prosecute me to the city attorney. And so Susan Grode Esquire made a backdoor call to him, James Hahn, and she said, blah, 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 Robbie. And he said, oh, I kind of like those posters. He said, And she said, well, I can get you a couple without glue, like if you want them. And she said, and in addition, if you go through with this prosecution, you're going to make him into a folk hero. And you don't want that, do you? He said, no, I don't. And send the posters over. So, that was pretty cool. But she kept me
Yeah.
out of jail as much as she could. It was a little different in cities around the country, but because what the two questions. Okay, here's the thing for you, considering our plans for the evening. The two questions that I gave talks all over the country to colleges and stuff and high schools around LA, but colleges around the country, and question and answer period. The first question always that the kids would ask is, how many times have you been arrested? And of course the answer is enough times. And the second question is, what kind of glue do you use?
Oh yeah.
Which you wanted to know. And you have your own favorite glue, don't you?
I used to use Roman wheat paste.
Yeah, well,
but now I use Kills Clear because it's about the same price now, because that stuff has gone doubled.
Yeah, everything's doubled. I mean,
Yeah.
probably an edible oil product or something, and it's tariffed, But, yeah, so, at a certain point, I just said, fuck it, and we're going to use the good shit.
The good shit.
Yeah, and the good shit is pre-mixed acrylic wallpaper adhesive that dries clear.
Yes.
And
what I
these
use.
days, it used to be you could get it a lot of places, but there's not that much wallpaper going on anymore. And so the only surefire stores that I can get it around the country is Sherwin-Williams.
And then I made my own. Did you make your own?
No.
I made mine in Jamaica because I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you have to. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe at the beginning I tried wheat paste, but that gets tiresome, and
It does.
and I mean, we're committed to another thing. Okay, here's another thing about my posters.
Yeah, let's talk about this. You have you have crews. You have people who support you.
Yeah.
You have volunteers. You have a huge network.
Not anymore, but
Well,
I did.
You always will. You always
Okay,
will.
if I try.
Like for example, like Robbie's, you posted the Supreme Injustices, right? And you send me some of those posters down in Phoenix,
Right.
4 years ago.
Right.
And I posted those. I did a bunch of utility boxes. We did them in the Arts District down there, and in front of the Justice, the law, ASU's law department.
Good spots.
Yes. So, for me, when you call, because I get the itch too. Like, I'm like, this is effed up. We have to take action. We have to do something. You had these posters, and I was like, I DM'd you, and or Deb answered the call, and then sent me those. But this is the action. Like, I have to, artists, instead of feeling anger, take that brush and put it on paper, and then take that. You have an idea, and then go paste that or create posters, and that's your message, right? And then get it out there. That's
You got to do something.
Yeah, you got to do something.
Whatever it is you do, you got to do something.
Yeah.
My mantra is apply what you do best to what you care about most. I can't do that many things.
Yeah.
This is it. But what I was going to say is my posters, and this goes for the glue as well, is I try to make them better than they have to be. That's the art, but also the production values, the printing and the paper. Typecraft is fantastic. It's your big time, high end offset litho house in Pasadena, and they do stuff for the museums. They do stuff for big time corporate entities. And Harry Montgomery, who was the owner of, who was a lovely God Squad guy, seersucker suit, old guy, he just got a kick out of me.
Yeah.
And I had, until I got to him, just one little art person going to a big offset litho place. They don't care about you. You know, it's like, okay, maybe, you know, like, it's not worth it to us. Maybe, you know, graveyard shift, you know, like take your little $600 or whatever it is. And I always like had to get to the guys on the print floor, the actual printers, who, you know, bring them a 6-pack of beer and say, can we do this, please? And they go, yeah, baby. You know, like it's different for them. So, working class.
So these
Yeah,
posters.
but when I got to Harry Montgomery, like he said, oh, I kind of get a kick out of these. You know, like we'll do pro bono for you. It's nothing for us. You know, on the midnight shift, you know, graveyard shift, we've got a young printer. You know, he can take care of you. He can be your personal printer. And we got a print rep for you. It can be your personal print rep, and just entertain me. And but so there, you know, you could do them on newsprint. You could do them on butcher paper. You could do them silk screen. You could do them any way. This is all pro stuff.
Right.
You know, better than I deserve, but not better than my audience deserves. You know, like I want to really give as much as I can, as high quality, and, you know, give people a little surprise, like, ooh, look at that. You know, like that looks like something.
So what's the stats? What are the stats on the prints you do? So like paper, I know they're offset. You said you do two-sided because you don't want to.
Yeah.
What was the term you said?
You kill Debbie. It's a Debbie thing. You're killing a tree. You better honor it. You know, like
Doing both, print them on both sides.
Yeah. You don't want to waste, you know, half the piece of paper. Like, so it's 80-pound book. Like, if you go to 100, I mean,
It's too heavy.
It's a little too heavy.
What about 60?
It's still too light.
So
Like
80. 80 is the sweet spot.
80 is the sweet
80
spot.
pound.
Yeah. For me, 80 is the sweet spot, and also, like, it works great in the rain. Like, if it ever, it's not always, it never rains in LA, but around the country.
Like in the Bay Area.
Yeah, we go to the Bay Area, and it's actually easier to put them up in the rain or in the fog or whatever, you know. And so like Seattle.
Yes.
Okay, so we go to Seattle, and we have these kids from Western Washington University, which is in Bellingham, but they come down in buses to poster with us, and it's pouring. And
the old man is snoring. I got you.
the old man was snoring. Like, it's really, really cold and wet. And we get them all together in this pastry shop or something. And so you're handing out the posters and the glue and the brushes and stuff. And I say, you know, it's a little wet out there, you know, so be careful. And they go, what do you mean? You know,
This
what
is
are you,
normal.
Yeah,
What
what
are
are
you
you
talking
talking about? What are you talking about? I said, okay, well, I'm staying in the pastry shop. You go ahead and do this.
It's a little drizzle.
Yeah, come back and tell me how it went. You know, like, they didn't care at all,
Yeah.
but it actually worked great. You know, like, I mean, there are thousands of postering stories.
Let's say, how do these young artists get started creating these posters? Where do they begin? Because you do all your prints come from paintings, and then those are transferred to offset. So, how do these kids get started? Because I know we have minimums now. These print shops do, right? 500 to 1,000 to get these big productions done. Right?
Yeah. Okay. So let's go back to Shepard Fairey.
Yeah.
Like, how did Shepard start? Like,
He went to what did he go to Staples? I remember.
Kinko's.
Kinko's.
Yeah. So that's the answer. The answer is however you can get it done. And I always tell the kids, like, you know, this is true, like with teaching art anywhere. Like, if they've got a project, you know, consider your resources. You know, you want to make something, consider your resources. What resources do you actually have available, so that you're sure you can actually finish the project.
Right.
I mean, whatever the project is, as far as I'm concerned, aside from its quality and that you've thought it through and you know, you've done the best you can, is to finish it. So make sure that because kids, you know, like, you give them a rectangle and they want to put everything they know in it. And you see, there are other rectangles. You know, you could put like one idea here, and then there's another rectangle, you put another idea here, and you have a series or whatever it is. Don't cram everything that you've learned or you think. And also they get insecure about like, this isn't meaningful enough. You know, I got to put everything in, so make sure that people get
the
it.
message.
Yeah, get the message.
Right.
No. Like, less is more, you know, as long as it's really good.
Right.
And also that you get it done. So I would never tell them that they have to go to like typecraft. That's not going to happen with a kid or their first, you know, like can't afford it. I mean, it's really expensive. Even if we're, you know, like for what Harry Montgomery did for me, I still like the whole project, the whole Megillah is thousands of dollars, you know, for, and also like if you're talking about travel and whatnot. I mean, really, Debbie goes, you know, like, let's go do, you know, GoFundMe campaign or something.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know,
Plus your time.
we don't talk about time. Time doesn't count. That's a whole nother thing. We could talk about it, but my point is, like with kids, is make sure you have a way to get it done, and don't try to do too much. And then the next one you could do a little more maybe or whatnot. My big problem with the kids really is them trying to fit too much content into one rectangle.
Right.
And especially on the streets, where you have to consider the viewing experience. You know, like, it's people walking by, it's people driving by.
Right.
They're not gonna
3
get
seconds.
like a page full of text, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know, 12-point text or something.
Couple words.
Yeah, and
get
keep it sans serif, you know, not necessarily, but.
Oh yeah. What's your font? Your
Not
type
my
of
area.
choice?
Not my area.
Yeah.
You got to talk to
I know, but I think
the master about that.
Helvetica Bold.
Helvetica Bold. Yeah,
Sorry,
that,
Helvetica Bold.
Helvetica Bold is the type that I used until I met Debbie. But I didn't know it was Helvetica Bold. It was just like a bold sans serif type that people could read on the street.
Yeah.
That's all I knew about it. And actually my second poster, which was Women with Teeth, was so pathetic because I used too small a font. You know, like for no good reason. I think I might have had a reason, or I thought I had a reason, that might have been that the images are what's important, you know, more than the text.
Right.
That's not true. They're equally important, and they work together, you know. If they don't work together, there's no reason for both of them to be there. The only relevance to time with my work is topicality. So
Say more. Topicality.
because it's a response to events that have just happened.
Right.
And, you know, I'm not responding to 1776. I'm not responding to the 1950s. I'm responding to
The now.
what has happened. And so, you know, I started with oil paintings, and oil paintings take a certain amount of time. And speaking of time, they can, and they never dry. So there's all kinds of things to do with it. And I realized, I'd say by Oliver North, by my third poster, that I had to find a technique that was quicker.
Right.
So I went to charcoal on canvas, and it was quicker, but I felt like it. I got the feeling like it doesn't have the punch of
soul.
Right, because like, I mean, I had a relationship with oil paint, and it was hard won, you know, and also like abstract expressionism, it is, you depend on the paint as your partner. Right. So I was missing that. Even though it was working, you know, like for the street, nobody cares how you made the thing. They just want to identify it, and I know that.
And move on,
but for my own process, for getting my expression up to the pitch that I want it to be, to the satire to be as stingy as possible, I actually was better in oil paint. So I realized that, okay, I still can't really afford the time it takes to do the oil paint, I'll try to figure out a way to make acrylic do an approximation of what I do in oil paint. And that I finally, it took me a while. It's so different. And, you know, developing our relationship was, you know, not so easy, me and acrylic.
Yeah.
But we finally came to like an arrangement.
You got a good mix?
Yeah, we got it going,
Yeah.
and it worked pretty well. Then I realized that you could start a piece in acrylic and oil paint over it, or over parts of it.
But you
know,
can't
like,
do the
can't do the opposite,
right.
right? You can't do, you can't do acrylic over oil.
Yeah.
So to highlight certain areas of the portrait, I could go back to oil, and that may be pretty. With this guy, I did a whole acrylic painting, and then painted the whole thing over in oil, right on top of it. And well, this is a bear. You know, this was definitely a wrestling match, as I told you.
I
But
can see it, yeah.
but I was very angry. So
Yeah,
but-
I think we all are.
yeah, we all are. And if we're not, we're unclear on the concept. You know. So, but this is acrylic.
Yeah.
And for this fucker, it's fine. You know, like. So there's that. But
Yeah,
in
that's-
terms of making art, I always think, you always get the question, you know, like, well, how much time did it take you to do this? And I think that's the wrong question. You know, it's nice of you to ask, and I understand that people would want to know, but really it's whatever it takes.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't go into it thinking, well, even though you can't go into it thinking,
On the clock.
yeah. It's not gonna help.
It's a feeling,
It's flow.
soul. It's
Yeah.
cathartic. It's
It's
I mean,
all
it's
that
emotion,
stuff. It's all that stuff, and it's
bleeding.
just giving yourself. You know, like I was talking about tricking yourself into the zone. You know, it's all about the zone, and
in the zone. We talked about it's a place where time and space don't exist.
space exists.
Well, space.
Yeah, a little space between you and the canvas.
But there's
Yeah.
this connection. It's this flow state.
Yeah, flow state
Were you-
with the ball game on,
Yeah.
or with Nicole Wallace, like with the news on, just to keep me company, just for ambient, or Thelonious Monk.
That's
You know, in fact, we talked about Thelonious last night, and I mentioned him, and
Yeah.
and so this afternoon, I come out from my nap, and Thelonious is on,
Of course.
and I go, oh man, where have we been? You know, he's right over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I listened to him so much. He kept me company through so much. Like I started painting in his rhythm,
Nice.
and I couldn't paint without him, you know, like for a long time. And that's also gets into you, you know, like, so it's like we were working on this stuff together,
Right.
which is lovely. But yeah, I mean, there is a pressure with the posters, like this has to get out before the midterms, that's for sure.
It
you know?
does.
So,
Yeah.
so there's that, and
That's an itch. So you have your wheat pasting army, people that help you out.
yep,
Let's talk about that. You disperse, you do a call, and then you get help and you disperse.
Yeah.
And you've been doing this way since you started.
yeah, since '86.
There you go. Okay.
And it's grown, you know, a lot since then. I mean, at first it was like me and my friend, you know, but yeah, well, you start asking your friends, and you know, your friends are artists. They don't actually have a job or anything. They got nothing to do, you know. So
Besides paint and create. Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah,
got
you
you.
know, well, it's not like 9 to 5,
Yeah,
like
no.
they have.
Definitely not.
So you know that if I go to New York and to my friends, they're artists, they're not doing anything between midnight and 3 in the morning, you know, like.
Yeah.
So they'll be there, and you know, we agree. But then it started like snowballing.
Right.
And this is before the internet, but if I was teaching and the kids who knew what I did, they wanted in. Of course they did.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
It really is.
So are you over 18? Like, well, the college kids were.
Yeah.
We had kids like from high school, because I would go talk in high schools, and we had friends who had kids who were in high school who wanted to come, and their parents said, "You're not old enough. You're not old enough. You can't come. Like, can't come." And they go. These days, it's those kids who are talking their parents into coming. Like, I'm too old. No, you're not. Like, get out there.
Right,
Come out.
right.
So it grew like that from students and lawyers and people who were my collectors, some collectors, people who like my stuff, or people who and just politicos, like
grassroots organizations.
Yeah, right, right.
Yeah.
Nonprofits and
Right,
stuff.
yeah.
Center for the Study of Political Graphics. All those people would come. Like Liberty Hill people would come. Like,
Gotcha.
and we would have a list. I had like a guerrilla postering list, and I would keep it. And then with the internet, we could actually put out a call.
Faster and easier.
Yeah, but way more public, and we'd be coy about it. Like, if you're interested, send us your email, and when we have a place and a time, we'll let you personally know and tell us how many people you have, so we have enough supplies for everybody.
Gotcha.
And we're going to meet at this place at this time. And you go wherever you want with your posters. But I wrote up a whole, like, on my website, there's like 8 pages of guerrilla etiquette.
Yes.
Like, things to do, things not to do, how to do, how not
Be
to do.
polite to the
Yeah.
authority.
Yeah,
authority.
everybody,
Yes,
actually.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah, but especially the police. And people, how to deal with people on the street who come up to you and want to argue with you or talk to you or want a poster. And actually, we have a video of guerrilla etiquette.
I love it.
Yeah,
Okay.
which I don't know if I can get that for you, but
get that. I'll
one of
find
the
it.
things that I always tell them is, like, if somebody comes up to you in the street and wants a poster, you give them one. If they want 10, you give them one.
Yes, you give them one.
Yeah,
I got you.
If they're in Phoenix and they promise to put them up, you can send them 10.
Yeah, thank you.
Like,
Thank
yeah.
And then I have one more question, which I have to, this is a personal question that I love to ask, is what advice would you give to younger artists or your younger self that would help them be even greater as a young artist? That advice that you see in yourself that you missed when you were a kid, or that advice that would stick with somebody or stick with an artist that would inspire them, or some advice.
I think there are 2 things. One is learn about the art history that's relevant to what you're doing. I think that helps, as long as it doesn't intimidate you. Like, you don't want to, like, get the burden of, like, you can't be as good as these guys.
Yeah.
But it's really good to know what's been done.
Your history.
Yeah, and it can help you in many, many ways. And the other thing is, if you can find a mentor. Like, the best thing about going to school or doing any kind of, professional activity is finding somebody who digs and gets what you're doing and has done it and can help you.
Yeah.
Having a good teacher is like the best thing in school that could ever happen to you, And whether it's in school or just like in your life, be willing to take advice.
And also,
but don't be overwhelmed by it.
And then being able to take criticism and
that's included in that. But you're right, absolutely right.
You got to have thick skin, right?
Well, yeah.
You got to take it. Like, for me, I think growing up, my best criticism was my worst criticism. And why was that? Is because it's instead of people going, "Oh, it's so great, it's amazing, I love it." It's like, they see if they see exactly what you did not right, like what you could do to fix it. I like that because I'm like, oh yeah, you see that too. Or they give you feedback and you're like, oh, that could make it better. And I think that give and take, artist to artist, like having like non-filters and just being completely bluntly honest. That for me is like the most honorary respect, for me.
Yeah, I don't want to open up another can of worms, but I have hilarious stories about graduate school at Stanford with the two artists who I stalked because I wanted to go there to study with them, Nathan Oliveira and Frank Lobdell, and actually getting that kind of critique out of them once I got there, like another time maybe, or maybe, just not on camera or anything, but
Okay.
I'll tell you the stories.
Yeah,
but
please.
But that's very true. Like you're absolutely right. The thing is, you got to be careful with young people, how you present criticism to them, and it has to be like, you're fucked. My teaching. Just as one last thing.
Okay.
My methodology, teaching methodology.
Yeah.
And this is serious. There's three things. One, like the first day of class, I would hand out cards and ask them a whole series of questions, find out as much as I could about each kid, and take their picture and clip it on the thing. And so I'd have
Smart.
it. Yeah. And the next thing was make sure that they knew that I loved them. Get it so that I love you, and then abuse them.
Tough love.
That's it.
Tough love.
Right, that's it.
Tough love, yeah. All right, y'all. This is Mondays with Michael. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Robbie.
Thank you.
Give me some love, my brother. Appreciate you, man. Until next time.
Don't hurt me.
Yeah, I got you. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Stay tuned. All right.